Hey guys, Dr. Carey here, and today I wanted to talk about the 5 most common mistakes to losing weight. We're actually going to do a webinar tomorrow, Saturday morning, which is free of charge at 9:30 a.m., where we're going to talk more in depth about these 5 mistakes. And when I grew up, I was overweight, and it was because of the foods that we ate at home. And often going to school, it was something that other kids teased me about, did bring a stigma with it. And, I really didn't like, going to the store and buying clothes that were oversized, being slower on the soccer field than most of the kids, just having all the kind of ramifications that go along with being overweight. So most of my childhood, I struggle with it, and even in my adult life, I struggle with it until last year. And during COVID, I actually spent some time researching weight loss. And what I did was I found a lot of great articles and research papers on how people have lost weight. And then I watched a lot of testimonials on it and started to try these things that I learned. And it was like a miracle, because every week it seemed like I was losing a pound or two. And as I applied more and more of these principles of what I was learning, it accelerated the weight loss. And my graph is interesting because it went from 232 pounds all the way down to 200, almost in this direct relationship. So that made a huge impact on me. I've been able to keep the weight off. And, at 6'2", I'm more closing in on my ideal body weight. And my whole lifestyle has changed. I mean, I've going to the gym. I go for runs. I've run some half marathons this year. I feel much better about myself. I'm wearing clothes that are a medium versus extra large. Some of the clothes that, it was funny, I was doing a load of laundry, and there was this really cool Kangol sweater that I had a couple years ago, and it fit good at the time, but then when I washed it and put it in the dryer, it shrunk and I couldn't wear it. And so I noticed it in the dryer. I guess one of my family members, my daughter, was wearing it actually, and because it had shrunk. And so I noticed it in the dryer as the fall clothes were coming out, and I thought, I'm going to try it on. So I tried it on, and it fit perfectly, which made me feel really good. Just because I was able to fit a sweater that I thought I had lost, but now I could wear it again. So I feel much better about myself. My energy's better. When I run, I'm much lighter. And it's really been transformative. There's a lot of positive comments or compliments I get for being in good shape. And I know it's going to be good for my health long term, and it inspires other people who want to lose weight. So what are the 5 things that I'm going to talk about tomorrow? Well, one of them is why low fat or fad diets don't work. And I'm going to show you my screen here if you're on YouTube. So why low fat or fad diets don't work. That's going to be the first thing. And I've tried some of those low fat or fad diets, and it didn't work for me either. In fact, I tried keto and low carb and wasn't successful because it wasn't done right. And so I finally learned the right way to do it, and I'll be sharing that at this webinar. So why a lot of those diets don't work. Not eating enough of these key nutrients. So the body needs certain key nutrients, and if you're not getting enough of them, cravings will start, and you're going to want to eat a multitude of different foods to try and get these nutrients, but it could lead to overeating. So I didn't know that before I lost the weight. Not using a tracking app. It's important to measure, because what I found was early in the process, when I got a digital scale and I started measuring my portion sizes, Some of them were accurate of what I thought I was eating, but others were, I was eating way more than what a portion was. So it's important to be able to know what a portion of a certain food is. So measuring and having some numbers is very important. And actually, I've started helping my patients with this in the clinic. And the patients, I give them the tracking app, Carb Manager, that I use. And it's been really great because they share their entries with me. So I have access to their entries and just seeing what they're eating and the portion sizes. And for me, it's obvious what the changes need to be or what they need to make in order to achieve their goals. But to them, it may not be obvious. And I was in that same boat before I learned these tips in 2021. Not knowing how much sugar you're eating in foods. I had no idea how much sugar was in foods or carbohydrates, which get broken down into sugars. So I had no clue how much sugar, and I was just shocked by how many grams of sugar are in certain foods. And if you think about a gram, like a teaspoon is 5 grams. So if you think about a food that has 30 grams of sugar, that's like 6 teaspoons of sugar. That when I thought about that, I thought, wow, that's just crazy. I would never eat 6 teaspoons of sugar. But that's the load that you're putting on your body when you eat certain foods that are very high in sugar or drink certain drinks like pop that have a lot of sugar in them. And then exercising too much or too little. Now, at the beginning, when I started to lose weight, I was exercising too little and I didn't feel like exercising and I couldn't exercise because I was just too heavy to go out and run or walk. But as I started to lose weight and read about certain training or exercise plans, then I started to go out for walks, which led to doing a short sprint, which is like high intensity interval training. So I'd go out for a walk and then every 60 seconds during that walk, I'd do a little sprint, like 5 seconds, to the best of my ability. And at the beginning, I started slow and I started picking up the pace and then the duration, which eventually led to me being able to run for a few minutes and then being able to run for 10 or 20 minutes and then eventually being able to run long distances. So this is amazing. It was an amazing transformation for me, and I know you can do it too. It's just a matter of applying these principles. So I'm going to talk about that tomorrow at this event. Tickets are on sale right now while they're free, but you can get a ticket until 6 p.m. Tonight. You just have to go to this website right here. I'll put a link in the show notes, or you can go to the link in our bio here on Instagram or on social media, and then go to webinars and events, and then you'll be able to get a ticket for this event called the 5 most common mistakes when trying to lose weight. So thanks for joining me this morning. I hope to see you there, and I will talk to you soon.